You've seen the labels. Sugar-free, 0 calories, diabetic-friendly. They make it sound like you can have all the sweetness without the guilt. But here's my question for you. Is that really true? Because today, we're not just skimming the headlines. We're going deep into artificial sweeteners, how they affect your blood sugar, whether they actually help with weight loss, and the difference between so-called natural and synthetic options. And I promise, by the end of this video, you'll have a crystal clear plan for how to use them without wrecking your long-term health goals. First, what are artificial sweeteners? Artificial sweeteners are like the stunt doubles of the sugar world. They look and taste like the real thing, but they don't bring the same calorie load. They come in 2 main flavors: synthetic sweeteners, fully lab-made, aspartame, sucralose, saccharin, acesulfame potassium, and plant-derived sweeteners, extracted from natural sources but still processed, stevia, monk fruit extract. Saccharin, the first artificial sweetener, was discovered by accident in 1879. A chemist forgot to wash his hands after working in the lab, tasted something sweet on his bread roll that evening, and realized he'd created a sugar substitute. Since then, dozens of these have hit the market, each promising to let you enjoy sweetness without sugar spikes. But like any good deal, there's fine print. How sweeteners actually affect blood sugar. Here's the main selling point. Most artificial sweeteners don't cause a direct spike in blood sugar. That's why the American Diabetes Association lists them as sugar alternatives. But here's where people get tripped up. Some brands mix the sweetener with fillers like maltodextrin or dextrose to make the measure like sugar or pour easily. These fillers do raise blood sugar, sometimes just as much as regular sugar. Splenda contains sucralose as the sweetener, but also maltodextrin, which has a glycemic index almost as high as pure glucose. It's like replacing your high-calorie dessert with a healthy smoothie, but then adding 2 scoops of ice cream inside it. The label might focus on the fruit, but your body still sees the sugar. And then there's insulin. One study found that sucralose increased insulin levels in people who didn't usually consume sweeteners, even without raising blood sugar. Your glucose stays flat, but your hormones still shift. Plus, gut bacteria. Some sweeteners like saccharin can alter your microbiome, which may mess with glucose tolerance over time. Bottom line, test your own response. Check your glucose 1-2 hours after consuming sweeteners and compare it to your normal baseline. Next, the weight control myth. Sweeteners are sold as weight loss tools. The idea: replace sugar calories, lose weight. But here's the twist. In many studies, heavy diet soda drinkers end up gaining weight over time. Why? 2 big reasons. 1. Calorie compensation. You skip 150 calories from soda, then reward yourself with a cookie later. 2. Appetite trickery. Your brain tastes sweet and expects energy. If calories don't arrive, it sometimes pushes you to eat more later. Maria, 52, with type 2 diabetes, swapped to diet soda and sugar-free desserts. She expected her weight to drop. 3 months later, no change. Why? She had unknowingly increased her portion sizes at dinner, and her daily calorie total stayed the same. It's like saving money on groceries, then splurging on takeout. You feel thrifty, but your bank account doesn't notice. What about natural versus synthetic sweeteners? Natural, stevia, from the stevia plant, sometimes slightly bitter, may lower blood pressure and glucose. Monk fruit extract contains antioxidants, safe for most people. Synthetic, aspartame, safe for most, but dangerous for people with PKU. Sucralose, heat stable, but may reduce good gut bacteria. Saccharin, once linked to bladder cancer in rats, now considered safe in normal doses. Think of it like clothing fabrics. Cotton, natural, and polyester, synthetic, can both make a good shirt, but how it's processed matters, and some people's skin reacts differently to each. Just because something is natural doesn't mean it's automatically better, especially when it's been heavily processed before it hits your cup of coffee. The long-term risks and controversies, let's quickly clear up the biggest fears. Cancer risk. Early rat studies linked saccharin to bladder tumors. Later research showed it doesn't apply to humans at normal doses. Metabolic effects. Some studies show higher diabetes risk with heavy sweetener use, but cause versus correlation isn't clear. Taste conditioning. Constant use might keep you hooked on high sweetness, making naturally sweet foods taste bland. My friend's dad gave up sugar and went to artificial sweeteners in everything: coffee, tea, baking. 6 months later, when he tried fresh strawberries, he said they don't taste sweet at all. His taste buds have been recalibrated to expect dessert-level sweetness. Touching on a practical guide for people with diabetes, here's how to use sweeteners smartly. 1. Read the fine print. Watch for fillers like maltodextrin. 2. Don't rely on just one type. Rotate between stevia, monk fruit, and others. 3. Step down the sweetness over time. Let your taste buds adjust. 4. Prioritize real hydration: water, unsweetened tea, coffee. Here's an example 6-week plan. Weeks 1-2. Replace regular soda with diet soda. Weeks 3-4. Swap diet soda for sparkling water with lemon. Weeks 5-6. Use sweetener only in morning coffee or tea. It's like turning down the volume on your stereo. At first, everything sounds quiet. After a while, your ears adjust and you can hear the details again. And the final verdict: artificial sweeteners are not magic bullets, but they're not poison either. Used occasionally, they can help reduce sugar intake and stabilize blood glucose. But overuse can affect gut health, appetite, and your relationship with sweetness. The real goal? Use them as a bridge, not a permanent crutch. And remember, the less sweet your diet over time, the easier it is to maintain healthy habits without feeling deprived. If this helped, hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear the truth behind the sugar-free label.